Imagine a world where the year is 2026, but there is no United States as a superpower, no United Nations, no freedom as we know it. A world where the Nazi swastika still flies over half of Europe, and the name Hitler is not remembered as a monster, but as the greatest leader in history. This is the terrifying alternate timeline. What if Hitler won World War II? History tells us Germany lost because of two massive mistakes: invading the Soviet Union in 1941 and declaring war on America after Pearl Harbor. But what if those mistakes never happened? What if Germany had focused only on Britain first, successfully invading the UK in 1940 using a much stronger Operation Sea Lion? What if Hitler had waited, built a massive navy, and then crushed the Soviet Union with full force in 1942 without opening a second front against America? In this timeline, by mid-1944, Nazi Germany controls all of Europe, from France to the Ural Mountains. Britain signs a humiliating peace treaty. The Soviet Union collapses. Japan dominates Asia, and America stays isolated across the Atlantic. Europe becomes the Greater Germanic Reich. France, Norway, Denmark, and the Netherlands are directly annexed or turned into puppet states. Poland, Ukraine, Belarus, and Western Russia are completely wiped out as nations. Millions of Slavs are either killed or used as slave labor under General Plan Ost. Hitler's dream of Lebensraum, or living space for the Aryan race, becomes a reality. Africa is divided again between Germany and Italy. Japan rules most of Asia, including India and Southeast Asia, as part of their Greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere. To me, the most terrifying part is this: Jewish populations across Europe are completely wiped out. The Holocaust doesn't stop in 1945. It continues until there is no one left. Christianity is slowly replaced by Nazi ideology and pagan rituals. Daily life? Terrifying. Every child is taught from age 6 that Hitler is almost a god. Books, movies, and music, everything is controlled by the Nazi propaganda machine. Science and technology actually advance rapidly in some fields, like rockets, jets, or perhaps even nuclear weapons, but only for the purposes of war and control. Women are pressured to have as many children as possible for the Aryan race. Any opposition? The Gestapo takes you away in the middle of the night. No trials, no rights. It is haunting to think that if this had happened, we might have seen Nazi-influenced governments even in places like Pakistan or India today. While Subhash Chandra Bose's Indian National Army might have seen short-term success, in the long run, Asia would have been divided and exploited by the Axis powers. By the 1950s, Nazi Germany looks unstoppable, but inside, the system starts rotting. The economy depends on endless slave labor and looting. Corruption spreads. Hitler dies in the 1950s or 60s, and a brutal power struggle begins between the SS, the army, and party leaders. By the 1980s or 90s, many historians believe the Reich would start breaking apart, just like the Soviet Union did. Economic collapse, rebellions in occupied territories, and perhaps even a Cold War with a remaining America or Japan. Today, in 2026, we would likely be living in a divided world. On one side, a brutal Nazi Europe. On the other, a Japanese-dominated Asia, with America limited only to its own continent. So, this was one possible timeline where Hitler could have emerged victorious. But remember, the ideology of Nazi Germany was so toxic that even if they had won militarily, the system would have eventually consumed itself from within. History teaches us that freedom, democracy, and human rights are not just words, they are the very things that keep humanity alive. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and let me know in the comments which what-if topic should we explore next. Subscribe to Timeline Diaries because history isn't just about the past, it's the key to understanding our future. Thank you for watching. Stay curious.